Hey guys, Chantel here from SmackNPie, and welcome to another Walking Dead video. I know it's been a while since we've done any videos. The reason for that is, we were doing live streams and setting up our Discord server. By the way, if you haven't joined the Discord server yet, the link is in the description. We've already got 80 members. We've got roles, levels, rankings, competitions. We do a voice chat almost every single day. It's a lot of fun, you should join. Trust me, you're gonna like it. And remember, link is in the description. Anyway, today we're gonna do a recap of AMA from Wednesday. If you don't already know, the CEO of Skybound, Ian, and the final season creative director Kent Muddle did an AMA, Ask Me Anything, on Reddit. They answered a bunch of questions. Some of them were business related, and some of them were regarding the future of the final season. We did a whole live stream, but if you missed it, don't worry. Let's get started. Okay, since we don't have time to show each and every single question, we'll show the important ones, starting from the most important question. What is the release date for episode 3 and 4? User VasingatoryXF2 asked, what exactly should we expect for a slight delay for episode 3 and 4 for TFS? To which Ian responded with, so I would guess this is everyone's number one question. I can't give you a definitive answer at the moment. What I can say is that the team is not currently working on the game, and until we're back into production, it's going to be nearly impossible to give an accurate answer. What I can say is that we will announce new dates as soon as we know what they are. There is no reason for us to hold that information back, so it will be public immediately that we can talk about it with confidence. Now, there's another follow-up to this, which actually summarizes it. When asked by Fury 2014, do you think you will be able to finish at least episode 3 this year? Ian responded with, okay, given that you guys have been so supportive and patient, I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, I fully expect episode 3 to be out this year, and I will be very disappointed if we can't make that happen. This gives us an explicit, not really, a definitive answer, that there's so much stuff to work on right now. The team are not even working on the game, they're fully focused on the legal issues first. It's not an easy task. More than 200 employees were laid off without any warning or notice, the final season team included. And to get them back on a temporary contract and talking to lawyers, legal stuff, it's not an easy task. However, it must be clear that we can expect episode 3 within this year, because within the same AMA they confirmed that episode 3 is mostly completed, and episode 4 has got some way to go. When Dr. Kuro asked them about a Telltale tool and assets and development question, Ian responded with, yes, we will be working with the same tech and tools as previously. Episode 3 was close to complete, but there is still work to do. Episode 4 was in pre-production, so lots still to do on that. Nobody is currently working on the game due to the ongoing legal discussions. Telltale has been incredibly helpful in trying to make this happen quickly, and the staff that we've spoken to have been extremely enthusiastic about coming back to complete the game. The only areas where we aren't able to get people back is where they've been offered other roles, which is totally understandable. This gives us the idea that, yes, we can expect episode 3 to drop within this year, and if we had to take a guess, we'd say late November to early December. That is, if they actually delay the episode. Because, understand, no one is working on anything related to the final season, so I hope that clears the release date and development stuff. Now, one more thing regarding the business side, and then we'll move on to the story. When user HighestBidder23 asked them when will final season be back on Steam, Ian responded with, we'll be back on sale as soon as possible. I'd hope we can do this by the end of October. Now with that being said, let's take a look at the stuff that includes the ongoing story. Let's start with the characters in the boarding school. When Stinkle asked about how each student ended up at the school for troubled youth, Kent Muddle, the creative director, responded with, a very minor spoiler, episode 3 is actually planned to have a scene about why a number of the characters ended up at the school. I think you'll find it interesting. This is actually really good. I think we can figure out how Violet ended up there, but for the other kids like Lewis, Ten, Asim, and Willie, is still a question mark. However, we can make videos on these characters, so let us know if you want to see that. Now, let's talk about the romance options. As you know, so many people weren't happy because they didn't want Violet or Lewis for Clementine. Many people were looking at James, but I have bad news for you all. When a user named Destroy the Source asked, is it possible that we'll see James or other characters apart from Violet and Lewis becoming romance options in the final 2 episodes? To which Ian responded with, from the editorial team at Skybound, Violet and Lewis are the only planned romances. That's a lot of choice for your first time dating. Well, there you have it. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Now let's talk about McCarroll Ranch. So as you already know, this is one of the mysteries for the final season. When someone asked about McCarroll Ranch, Kent responded with, McCarroll Ranch is expanded upon in a further episode, which shows that this might be one of the things where it's just going to stay a mystery and a topic for discussion. but we'll learn a bit every episode. Well, only 2 left, so yeah. We personally haven't got any ideas for McCarroll Ranch, but we can work on a theory for that. If you want it, you already know what to do. Let's talk about Abel. So, as we know, this guy is... Yes, we're aware of the disabled memes and Abel ships. Come on, Telltale, really? Who is this guy? He got bit, but he survived. He fights with 1 arm. The guy survived after having dibs from AJ, and after falling and breaking his leg. Like, really? Really? Come on! But regardless, on Wednesday's AMA, when someone asked about Abel, Kent responded with, Abel and Clem need to have a very serious talk in 403. How grisly that becomes is up to the player. 403 meaning episode 3, just in case you didn't know. And basically, Abel's torture is going to be up to the player, and how much the player wants to torture him, just like in season 3 with Badger. Badger is still worse than Abel, trust me. Then, let's talk about the total length of episode 3. When someone asked, will episode 3 be longer than the previous 2 episodes? Kent responded with, don't recall for sure. Runtime might be a little shorter than 2, but it's very heavily branched based on if Lewis or Violet is captured. Both 3 and 4 have a lot of variability based on previous choices. So basically, if you choose Violet, it's going to play out differently, and the timing for the entire episode will be different than if you choose Lewis. When someone else asked about how long is episode 3, Kent responded with, 403 in total has a lot of content, but it's also heavily branched. I think it will be similar to 402 in length, possibly shorter, but will be different depending on the choices. Again, showing that previous choices in episode 1 and 2 will change the branches for episode 3, meaning that there's so much content within the episode, but since it's branched, meaning 50-50, it'll be close and around the same length as episode 2. Now, let's talk about 2 things. One is death, and the second is Lewis Violet backstories. When someone asked about if they'd find out more info for Lewis in episode 3, and the same with Violet, Kent responded with, we've got some death-defying drops in upcoming episodes. Not sure if they'll be as funny as Lee missing that jump with Molly though. Same for Violet. Only one of them is around in 403 for a while, and you learn more about the character you saved, but learn something else about the one you didn't. Firstly, death. Secondly, you see the second point, only one of them is around in episode 3 for a while. That's crazy. I mean, it's kinda obvious one of them got captured, but the last point, you'll learn something else about the one you didn't save. That's interesting. Let us know what you think about the else thingy. And lastly, about the season's ending. When someone asked about the multiple endings, Ian responded with, this is from one of our wonderful editorial team. Yes, your choices all along in how you encourage AJ, who you romance, how you treat your friends, that all adds up in the final episode. First thing, multiple endings. Kinda, sorta. Secondly, AJ is heavily focused in the ending. Third and finally, the romance and friends. That is, if they're gonna be alive by then. We can't really explain it that much, since each and every topic requires separate videos to talk about, and we need some time to come up with a solid theory. But with that being said, these were the most important questions that were answered by Ian and Kent. Thanks to them, we now know less about what's going on, and you can watch the live stream for the entire thing. We literally talked about every question that was answered. Also, just a reminder, make sure to join the Discord server. We're having so much fun in there with you guys, you'll not be disappointed. And make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be a huge video. But that's it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video and want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Chantel, narrator from SmackNPie. Until next time, peace!
What will it take to show you that you do not get to do that? We are not your soldiers. Run away home. Be a deserter. I am done with you. I can't believe I ever loved you. I can't believe I ever loved either of you.
Hobby, what the hell is she talking about?
Hobby, I never acted inappropriately. I could have. I didn't. How much of an idiot do you think I am, Hobby? I should have known. I should have known the night Pa died. The night you weren't there. Blood is worthless to you.
just like he was to you, just like I am to you. Well, it's time for you to finally learn what blood really means.